Okay, so here we are. We're going to start adding some interactivity to our sites. And one thing I'd like to point out about just keeping things consistent throughout your site is that in the project, I state that you have to use some of these techniques I'm going to show you. I believe it's like 3 of the 4. The rollovers should be used like just the standard rollover like we're going to do. It should be consistent throughout the site. The worst examples I see of it is where someone just uses it once and then throughout the rest of the site, like their photo documentary site, it's never used again. And in that case, it really just seems out of place. So in doing rollovers, they're a great way to add interactivity with the site. But you can also continue to provide information throughout the site in like maybe the way I'm going to show you, or in some great examples, I've seen people do like really cool rollovers where it's like a photograph of a before and after. That's pretty cool too. The one I'm going to show you is one that's really just kind of like maybe providing additional information about the photograph that they're looking at or the topic. So once we have our divs set up, which we do at this point, let's go ahead and in the div ID role, I'm just going to add a little H2 and call this roll over. So when we're looking at it, at least we kind of know where they are. So the first thing we need to do to insert a rollover is going to be just kind of inserting the first image that we're going to activate as a spot. So those images are all in the image FNL. Okay, so in the rollover, we're going to be using these 2 here. Okay, it's labeled for you. And one is just a plain old JPEG of Elvis and Nixon shaking hands. And then the other one is a JPEG that I made in Photoshop just by adding a little overlay to it. I can actually show you right here. So you can see the image underneath kind of faintly, and then I just put some text on it about like what the history of this image is. Okay. So what we're doing with these is we're adding some JavaScript. Okay. But let's first put in the image, and then we can talk a little bit more about what's happening behind the scenes. I'm going to say insert image, and I'm going to go to my image FNLs, rollover, and this one first. Okay, so there we have Elvis and Nixon shaking hands. Okay. So what we need to do now is we need to add some JavaScript to this. Okay, so Dreamweaver has some built-in ability that it can write the JavaScript for you, which is very nice. JavaScript is a coding language that's used in conjunction with HTML and CSS on the web. And instead of learning it from scratch, we're going to use Dreamweaver to do a little bit for us. So the window we need for this is under Window, Behaviors. Okay, so here we just need to make sure it's selected. And we're going to hit Add Behavior, this little plus. And what we're going to do is say Swap Image. All right, so it says unnamed JPEG. Now that's important because actually the naming of it is it's looking for an ID on it. So we didn't ID it, okay? But in the next practice, we will use that. But we know, like, we've already selected it here. I don't need to like name it. I know what I'm kind of doing. So now I'm going to hit Browse, and I'm going to pick this one here, and I'm going to hit OK. So it shows me, okay. So it says here, preload image. Yes, I want that to happen. And restore the image on mouse out. Yes. Okay. So, wow, look at all this script that just popped up. Okay. It's quite a bit. And it's in the script tag. And I'm not going to go through and explain any of this. Okay. But that's making the thing happen. Okay. So this stuff you don't want to really alter. You don't want to like mess with it. It also adds a little script into the body tag right here. Okay. So if this stuff confuses you, that's fine. Just kind of push it out of the way because you're going to have to do your CSS later. So I just kind of nudge it down. You don't want to put your CSS in here or anything. You know, I can freely write my style tag and I just know to work in here. Okay. I don't have to worry about this stuff. Okay. So it also adds a bunch of stuff in here. So let's just kind of see what's happening. Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, and that's exactly what I want to happen. It's literally just when you mouse over, it's putting the new JPEG in underneath. Okay, and if I wanted to see that happen, or if you wanted to like, we could even use that little button. Yeah, well, I said we might not get to that, but we'll do that again. Let me just do that one more time. So here, we're going to use the button folder. So this is if like you wanted to make buttons that had rollover behaviors. Let me click here. I'm going to insert an image. Okay, so these again, I just made in Photoshop. I don't know, we'll start with blue. I think this is just using like vector images. So I'm gonna select that. And I'm gonna go to my behaviors, add the plus, swap image. And it's showing me, you know, oh, there's another one there. But the one that you're on comes up selected here. I'm going to hit browse and I'll pick the red one. I'll hit OK. Boop. All right, and let's see. See that crown over here, but let's see what's going on. Should be there. Oh, there it is, right next to it. Okay, so there's two rollover behaviors going on. Oh, it's because Elvis is king. That's right. That's why I did that. All right. Okay. Next, we're going to add a remote rollover.